Hi there, beautiful Taurus. Welcome to White Sky Tarot. I'm Michelle, and I'm here to do your short and sweet midweek tarot reading for the week of August 18 to 24. Taurus, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like what you see and hear, and hopefully there's a great message for you. I will get 3 of these cards from the traditional deck, and then we will start talking about each card and clarifying it, and hopefully get a great message for you for the week. And Taurus, if you do feel called to, of course, please subscribe and like. Anyway, first card out for you, Taurus, is the 9 of Pentacles. Beautiful. I love it with the rainbow there. It says here, your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. So the 9 of Pentacles in the traditional deck here, you have a woman standing amongst all the coins. It represents a very independent energy, somebody who's working super hard for their things. However, they enjoy the finer things in life, right? And yeah, can work in a team, but can also go super independent and get the same results. And then you have the 7 of Swords. So 7 of Swords is a little bit of a sneaky energy, lying, cheating, stealing. However, I also see it as planning, as strategizing, if there are positive cards around it. So let's have a look at that. And you get the 9 of Pentacles once again. Very synchronicities. That's awesome. Independent energy, working hard for the money, nurturing and like the finer things in life. And then you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is our messenger between heaven and earth, whether that's the universe for you, God, whatever it may be. All about traditions, marriage, religion, culture, and also just ask you to follow your intuition as you go along. All right, Taurus, let's clarify. I want to clarify that initial 9 of Pentacles for you. Excuse me. And it's clarified by judgment. Yeah, okay. So something is called for you to look at past lessons and behaviors. In the traditional deck, you see people coming out of the coffins, and it's a matter of leaving old lessons, behaviors behind that's not good for you anymore. Learn from them and move into something that's been called for. So there's a calling for maybe some independence here. You have marriage here next to it. You have an independent energy versus kind of marriage. So perhaps you're looking for a bit more independence in your marriage. Anyway, let's just have a look at that 7 of Swords and see what that comes out with. King of Pentacles. Okay, so King of Pentacles is Taurus, your own energy once again. The earth energy is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This King of Pentacles here, and please bear in mind there's no gender specifics when we talk about a general reading, so it could be female or male. He is a mature individual, very focused on his money, his finances, and he's also one of those who, when he offers you something or says he's got to do something, he will do it. Okay, so that's interesting. So I want another clarification card for that. I do believe that is your energy, but so perhaps you are planning something, or yeah, you have the Queen of Wands. Okay, Taurus, that could be your partner, it could be your own energy. She is super assertive, fire energy, goes for what she wants, high confidence. So I think we might be talking about a marriage perhaps, because you've got 2 energies here. I think you two, you and your partner, perhaps having talks about maybe you have been living a little bit of separate lives perhaps, and you want to come together, or you feel, one of you feel you are too much dependent on each other in terms of you need a bit more breathing space. I want to clarify both the Nine of Pentacles and the Hierophant, but let's clarify the Nine of Pentacles first. The Ten of Wands. Okay, so that's a burden being laid down. And it's on the Independent card. So something's coming to an end. I think you two are not planning, but talking about having a deep conversation about how to move forward. Can we clarify the Hierophant, please? Clarify the Hierophant for Taurus. Page of Swords. So that's a message. Oh, okay. This Page of Swords can often be an immature energy because he's fairly young. So it represents an immature energy who's more in his head than in his heart. So it could be that one of you is, perhaps you're recently married, who knows, or hasn't been married for that long. And one of you is thinking that, or feeling that the other party is still kind of having that immature single life mentality and not fully committed to the relationship. That person is, but still kind of young at mind. It could be your partner, Taurus, because your energy is here with the King of Pentacles, and that's a very steady, solid energy. You have the Queen of Wands, who's very action-orientated, very social, very out there, related to Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So it could be, Taurus, that you are feeling that your partner is not fully, has laid or left behind that young mentality of maybe the single life, or not being as committed as he or she should be. Yeah, okay. Then we have the Knight of, we have the Tower here. And then we have the Knight of Swords. The Tower is obviously when something is being kind of forced to be torn down so we can start from scratch. Build a solid foundation again. The Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck. He's going for exactly what he wants, but again, a little bit very logical instead of moving into his heart space, just like it says with this Page of Swords. So I think there is something that kind of requires the person who is still not fully in this marriage behavior wise, could be something the Tower is falling, but that person will definitely try to do whatever he or she can to come to the table. That's very interesting. I haven't had that sort of reading before. All right, Taurus, I do want to give you a couple more messages. So we're talking about a marriage where one person is fully committed, the other person is kind of still living in behavior, the single independent life. It could be you wanting your person to just kind of commit a little bit more, be a little bit more in the team, in the marriage, instead of still kind of living that single life, independent life. Okay, so let's just get a couple more messages for you. Or there were two, let's take them. Taurus. Yeah, so we get the Page of Swords again, which we already have there. And then we have the Six of Cups, which for me is looking back at at past experiences, past lessons. So there might be, your partner may still kind of reminiscing about the time where he or she was not attached, not in a marriage, may long for those kind of independent single times where he or she didn't have to consider another person all the time. It's not because that person does not want to be in the marriage, it's just a matter of behaviors and thought about feeling fully committed and tied down could be a bit scary. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. However, that person do want to step up to the plate. You've got the Queen and the King of Pentacles here, so that person does want to step up and meet you and be your equal, Taurus, but it's just a matter of getting out of those old routines, those old habits, but definitely want to be there with you in that marriage. All right, Taurus, I hope that's what they were your messages. Take care. Bye.